Welcome once again to another episode of Off Leash podcast with Dr. Pete. I'm your co-host Molly, and we're so glad that you joined us for today's show. Remember, we're not here to say what you want us to say. We're just here to be an advocate for your pet. And just like every month, we sent out questions for Dr. Pete. Oh, I didn't even let you say amen.
Amen.
There you go. Got to get that in there.
I know, not much conviction in that, but amen.
Amen. So,
amen.
We're going to jump right into the questions.
Isn't that a country? Yeah.
We are actually, timeline-wise, we are on a crunch today a little bit. We got to go to the airport because we're going to the ACVIM.
ACVIM meeting, which is the internal medicine meeting out in Seattle.
Normally they have it in Minnesota, and then last year they had it in
they have it all over the place.
Where was it, Tennessee?
They just try to have it someplace
But
different.
normally it's in like...
Was it Louisville last year?
Louisville, that's it, Kentucky. But normally they have it like...
Wherever.
on this side.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know how it is.
Of the country, not way out there. But we're going. So people that are out there, you'll probably won't hear this podcast by then because we're so ahead on podcasts. But we'll see you there. So you ready to jump into question number one?
Yep.
Okay. My question for Dr. Pete is, French bulldog diagnosed with copper accumulation. Okay, first of all, I'd have never heard of a bulldog getting this, but I guess any dog can get this. Was diagnosed with copper accumulation via liver biopsy. Results were 825 parts per million. How can Voyager dog food reverse the accumulation of copper in our dog's liver?
Okay, well, here's how you do that. And I'm going to guess you did a liver biopsy because you had elevated liver enzymes.
High ALT, yep.
So,
in the blood work.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess that's why you did that. So the fact that you have 825 parts per million, that's really quite elevated. It's at the point where people, there's a lot of internists that would suggest you do chelation, which would be dipenicillamine.
What about milk thistle?
Milk thistle it's a protectant.
It's a more natural.
It's a protectant. It's just a protectant. It doesn't do anything to get it out of there. Okay, zero. And nor does SAMI. SAMI and milk thistle are basically what a umbrella is for a rainstorm. It just keeps you dry until you can get to the house.
Yep.
So here's what I would do. And really, your dog's going to determine this. What we're going to do is we're going to give you food with no copper, sulfate, and no proteinaceous copper. There will be some copper in there, but just the minimal amount that we have to have 7.3 parts per million to manufacture and call it an AFCO diet. So we just kind of reverse engineer it. And then what you do is you feed your foods, and then you feed whatever food you're going to feed. And listen, you have to be careful about the treats. You can't give liver treats or any of that sort of stuff. You have to give treats that are low in that also. So then what I would do if I were you, I'd just I might go in every 3 months and have an ALT. If the ALT drops, you know that the copper is leaving the liver. And I've talked about this before. It's 10 units in, 5 out, 10 in, 5 out. You're going to accumulate it. And I often refer to my wife's checkbook as 2 in, 5 out.
What, you put in the 2 in, she puts the 5 out?
Yeah, that's right. And so
hold on, I want to pause you for a minute.
We're trying to bankrupt the liver of copper.
I'm trying to pause you for a minute. The treats are super important. You didn't plug the ABC treats.
Okay, I'll plug the ABC treats. They have 5.7 parts per million of copper, really low.
Our ABC treats from Voyager.
Yeah, and the problem is there's some like dehydrated liver treats that are like in the 300s.
You don't want to give liver treats because liver is what accumulates the copper.
Well,
so they're high in copper.
Cow liver, and the cattle. Some of those cows have been fed.
Chicken
copper.
liver, it's not so bad because they don't live long enough to accumulate it.
Yep.
So I know that we get that question a lot. I just wanted to plug that in there.
Are you on amphetamines today or what?
No, I'm just trying to get through this.
Okay,
We got a flight to catch, and I know that you like to get off topic and ramble a little bit. We can't ramble.
I want to answer the questions. That's what I want to do.
Okay, you ready for the next question, or do you feel like that was a good, sufficient answer?
That's what this person, this man or woman, is going to have to just keep checking their ALT, and then work with your veterinarian to decide whether you want to chelate this dog. But it's entirely possible you could feed Voyager dog food and you go back to a normal ALT in 6 months.
Yes.
That's possible. I'm not telling you it will. This depends on your dog's ability to get copper out of the liver on its own. That's what it depends on.
Okay. You ready for the next one?
Yep.
This happens to my dogs right now a lot. What does it mean when dogs eat grass? All of our dogs have recently started eating grass and we don't know why. No pesticides on our grass, so that's not a concern. We're just wondering what they're trying to tell us. What are your thoughts? It's 3 labs, 1 Pyrenees / pit bull mix, all on the sensitive stomach pork formula.
Okay, and that's fine.
My dogs eat grass all the time.
But you're going to still have vomiting because the grass is indigestible and the body will get rid of it. So The grass is lush at this time of year. Our dogs do the same thing. Your mother takes them for a walk down the lane, and they eat all this stuff, and they come in and vomit on the carpet, and then she stands and complains about them vomiting on the carpet. It's like, well,
you let them eat grass.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like you can stop them. They're going to do it regardless.
No, that's correct.
But they don't do it later on in the summer, I feel like.
Because the grass is dry.
They just do it this time of year.
It's not the operative word here is lush. Not that the people who own the dog are lush, but the grass is lush.
The grass is lush.
The grass is lush. And
so watch out for that lush grass.
And they like that. Apparently, they like the taste of lush grass. And and what they do is they eat it until they're full, and that's
puke it all up.
Well, that's right. And it all comes up, and it has a lot of chlorophyll in it, so it looks nice on the carpet when you get all done. And then we get the carpet cleaner out there because I was not vigilant enough to keep them from eating all the grass. And if you're vigilant and they don't eat the grass, it doesn't happen, no matter what food they're on. This has nothing to do with the food. I love the salmon. It's hydrolyzed, and you get very few GI things. But it really doesn't matter what happens to you if you drink a fifth of slow gin. No matter what your regular diet is, you're going to get sick, and you're going to get real sick, and you're going to feel real bad because it's although it may taste all right, it's not good for you.
I like sour Skittles, and I'll eat a whole bag of them, but then I'll feel like shit afterwards.
And I agree.
And I will almost throw up.
Sure.
But it sounds so good in the beginning.
Well, the labs, the Pyrenees, I mean, they're all doing this. It's because it's spring and the grass is lush. So once the lawn dries out, they never go out and eat the brown stuff. You don't ever see them puking up the brown stuff. Yeah.
Exactly, that's true. Yep. All right, next question. Does your dog food have minimum to no copper? Can you honestly make that claim and it be true?
Okay, we check every batch as it comes into our place, and it has to have at least 7.3 parts per million of copper. So we're trying to make it between 7.3 and 8. That's what we're trying to do. Do we add any copper to make this number? Absolutely, we do not. We don't add any copper in there, zero. And we
test every single ingredient for natural copper.
Yeah, and then you just figure out what you got to do, and that's what you got to do. And we've had to change ingredients around a little bit every once in a while because all of a sudden something does have more copper than it had when we tested it the first time. So you just have to be vigilant. So it's a big deal with us. And so a truck comes in, we test it. A truck comes in, we test it. A truck comes in, we test it. We test everything, every time.
That's every time. Right.
So we don't ever put any copper sulfate. I don't know. I know what copper sulfate looks like. It comes on a pallet with a bunch of bags, and we don't use that in our premix at all. Zero.
You ready for the next one?
Sure.
Hi, Dr. Pete. What do you think of the following? Giving fish oil supplements to a chocolate lab.
Well,
we're going to go through these one by one.
Okay. Let me answer this one. Giving fish oil supplements. If you want to do that, you're welcome to, although our diet has a lot of omega-3s and omega-6 fatty acids in it, so I don't think it's necessary. But some people like to supplement things to do. I mean, you've got 3 dogs. We've got 3 dogs.
I don't think it hurts.
They all have really nice coats.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of just, I feel like they filter out what they don't need, so it's just kind of like.
It's kind of overkill. It's a little bit of overkill. But I'll tell you what it might help with. If you had a dog that was arthritic, omega-3s are like nature's steroid. So maybe adding more nature's steroid in there would help.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you had a dog that was arthritic, had arthritis to the hips or the back or the elbows, something like that, that might not be a bad idea. Add it to the dog food you're currently eating.
Okay. The next one is flea and tick medication, Simparica Trio.
Okay.
I give my dog Simparica Trio.
Yeah. And it's a great drug. It works. So far, we haven't had any tolerance to it. So, yeah. And do we have dogs? Lots of times we were careful about, prescribing it for dogs with seizures, idiopathic epilepsy. And then if you want to read further on this.
Did you read the rest of it?
Go ahead.
Our lab was on it for a few months. The last time had diarrhea, but we didn't put it together. It could be the medication. Did you read the rest of it? I don't know if I can say this on air.
Well, go ahead and read it. Oh yeah.
Very colorful way to put it.
Yeah, he was peeing outside his rectum in a much more
graphic way to put
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's what I
This
say.
month,
Nothing else happened.
nothing else happened or was ingested, but we're assuming it was the medication. In the past, we have used Frontline without any issues. I thought.
Okay, let's stop and talk about that. Frontline doesn't work anymore.
No.
So when you buy that, that's the most expensive thing you buy. If you buy something that doesn't work, it's really expensive.
But if you buy something that works, it's cheap.
If you buy something twice the price but it works, it's cheap. So you got to always look at that. If it works, it's cheap. If it doesn't work, it's expensive. Frontline does not work. There may be little enclaves in the United States where Frontline does kill fleas, but we couldn't kill fleas with that stuff at our place. Could not kill them. And we couldn't.
Was this the one that had the ad that goes, "There ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me"? Is that one?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which one Frontline was.
I remember we sent all ours back. We did a study one time, and the positive control was Frontline, and the article we were testing was Credelio in cats, and that worked really well. And the cats who had Frontline had fleas on them every time they get combed. And so we sent $16,000 worth of Frontline back to the manufacturer when we got done. And they said, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "Because it doesn't work." We were blinded. That was a study where we were blinded. We knew exactly what was going on. I mean, you could see there was 25% of the cats got Frontline, 75% of them got Credelio, 25% of the cats had fleas, 75% of the cats didn't have fleas. We knew exactly what was going on. It was very graphic because the cats that were enrolled in the study had flea allergy dermatitis, and you could see it big time.
Yep.
So is there, I would keep using the trio. If you kept having problems, I'd probably switch to, and you really don't even know if this is an allergic reaction to the Simparica or whether it's to the moxidectin. So we don't know because those are the two things that are in there. So I would say probably if you wanted to try something different, you could try Simparica all by itself and then maybe use Interceptor or HeartGuard to complement it. But it's going to take you a while to figure this out. You do need something that works, though, especially with ticks. We see so much Lyme disease now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next question. I've been feeding Voyager since one of my Westies was diagnosed with copper storage disease back in 2024. Sadly, we said goodbye last September. A new Westie puppy has brought some joy back into our home, but I'm concerned about the appropriate puppy food to feed. He's 6 months old. Since you do not offer a puppy formula, I'm wondering when you think I can transition him to Voyager safely, and if you have any suggestions or opinions on which puppy food to feed him. I feel like 6 months old is the perfect age to switch him. 6, 7 months old.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the dog. So if you have a little dog, if you had a Chihuahua, you can switch them over at about 4 months, 5 months. If you have a Labrador, maybe 6 to 8 months. If you have a gigantic breed dog like a Great Dane or a Newfie or something like that, maybe 14, 15 months. So, but I will tell you this much: there is enough calcium and phosphorus in our diets to actually, and protein to work for a puppy. What there isn't enough of is copper.
I was going to say phosphorus.
No, there's enough calcium and phosphorus. There's just not enough copper.
Oh, yeah, so they have copper for puppy food.
So the puppy foods have about 1.5 times the amount of copper that a regular dog food would have.
This is Kathy from down in Texas. This is a similar question. We have now added to our family a fourth dog, a Bernedoodle. She will be 6 months old in June. She has been raised on Diamond for all stages dog food. We would like to switch her to your food as soon as you think that she is old enough. I know that you have said pollock is a good choice for 6 months of age. We bought the pork and our golden doodle doesn't care for that. And I'm afraid that the chicken causes her to lick her feet. Allergies. Well, if you're licking feet, that's environmental.
Usually, although I will tell you this much, if you've, I think probably what you're looking at here, I'm guessing what you're looking at here is a dog that probably has had something pollinate. So usually when you're licking your feet, it's environmental. When it's your ears and rears, it's usually food. So if it occurs above your neck, it's almost always food. If it occurs on your feet, but I will tell you this much, if you have some food allergies and some environmental allergies, lots of times you put the two together. And I think I've always referred to this as
the Three Stooges.
Yeah, the Larry, Moe, and Curly thing. Larry makes Moe funnier, Moe makes Curly funnier, Curly makes Larry funnier. So what I would do is I'll go to the pollock, and I go to right now because the only thing that keeps our dog food from being a puppy food is
the copper.
We don't have enough copper in it.
I think that if she thinks that she's allergic to the chicken, maybe try the salmon. They said that they bought the pork and they don't really care for it. Try the salmon. You can actually call the 1-800 number. We have a money back guarantee on our food. So if the bag does not work out for you, we will refund you for that bag and send you a new bag.
Okay.
So if you want to give that a try, yeah, I think that she can have both. I mean, like we said, 6-7 months of age is a great time to switch them over.
It is. And in fact, we're going to have a puppy food here probably in another few months.
Yeah. So you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you won't have to worry about that when that comes out. And that will be chicken-based, though. That'll be chicken-based puppy food.
Yes.
And then we're going to have a senior diet probably in a few months. Mm-hmm. That'll be a fun one. Not fun, but helpful. Helpful for people, sure.
All right. The last one is, besides a biopsy, is there any other test to measure elevated copper in dogs?
No.
Unfortunately, not yet.
So here's what you do. Here's what you do. If you have elevated liver enzymes, and what you want to do is you want to catch this. Like, in fact, to me, when you catch it, over 125 is elevated liver enzymes. In my book, anything over 90 is elevated because almost all the normal dogs just have damn near nothing. Mm-hmm. Okay? 30 or 40. So are they going to have a test to be able to figure out copper storage disease? We don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of theories of what you could do with a dog. You could take a stool sample from a dog and then freeze it and then give this dog depenicillamine, which is a chelating agent, which would sort of usher it out of the liver and into the biliary tree, which would end up in the GI tract. And then what you could do is you could try to measure the copper in the liver, or not in the liver, but in the stool. Yeah, stool after that. So you'd have a before and after. They do that with urine with children who they suspect have copper storage disease.
Which is Wilson's disease in people.
Yeah, they collect urine for 24 hours, give them the depend, and they collect urine for another 24 hours. And then they compare the first urine to the second urine. Are they going to do that, or are they going to figure something else out? I don't know.
Hopefully there's a blood test at some point.
This is really, I think one of the things I think about with this is, I think if everybody understood how much of this there was around, if they understood how much of this there was around, and really, like, there's a couple of companies that run these, run labs. And I think if they thought they could make more money, or they could, what's the term, scale this out, if they could scale this out to where they were doing thousands of tests a year, screening for copper storage.
And they might actually want to do it.
I think they might actually do it. That's right. That's what I think they would do. And there'd be a
money grab.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a money grab. But
it's kind of like and I hate to bring up COVID in this, but it was kind of like the COVID testing. They made that so expensive in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then like 2 or 3 other companies caught on to the test, and then it got really cheap.
Yeah.
But at first, I think there was only one company doing the testing.
Sure.
I think it was like 100 and some, because I had to travel at one point, so I had to get a COVID test done. I think it was like $200, and then towards the end, you could buy them for like
you bought
$20.
You bought them at the grocery store. Went home and did them at home. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I know. So yes, and they were all really.
But it was popular, you know.
How far did you stick it up your nose? And was there?
God, that was the worst time ever.
Is there gray?
They'd stick it like up to your brain.
Is there gray? That's right. Is there gray matter on this sucker when it comes out? But
that was such a bitch.
So whether they're ever going to come up with it, other than a biopsy, we know the biopsies, and believe me, there's this thing called a fine needle aspirate where they guide a needle with an ultrasound into your liver and pull a little piece out. It's not enough.
It's accurate. It's
too
enough.
small of a piece. This
to get an accurate reading.
Well, copper can be like flying over Wisconsin. Oh, there's a town. There's a little town. There's a little town. There's a little town. Now, if you just stick it in the middle of a 40-acre field, you're not going to come up with.
Is it kind of similar to like when they do what are they called for cancer testing? What is it called? Well, I guess it is a biopsy. Same thing.
Yeah. But
they pull from multiple different spots.
Right. You have to get them. You have to get, usually in a typical situation at the office, we take a tumor off and then we cut it in 2 pieces and then put it in formalin and send it to somebody to look at. And then they'll tell you what it is. But you have to have a really nice sample.
Yeah.
And these fine needle aspirates, they're better than nothing, but they ain't. But the problem is there may actually be worse than nothing because you get a normal sample back. And, oh, my dog's all right. Well, your dog isn't all right. We just didn't stick the needle in a town where all the people were.
Yep.
And so then
there's no guarantee.
You're left with the idea you're all set. You ain't all set.
If you actually go onto our website and you look at Cookie's liver that passed away, our dog, our family dog, it looked like a bunch of little bubbles almost on her liver.
We thought it was cancer when we first looked at it. It's just cirrhosis. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it'd be what, somebody had a cirrhotic liver. And it was just fibrosis, and there were active liver cells in there because Cookie still had an ALT of about 300, which meant that there were enzymes leaking out of her hepatocytes, but she just wasn't functional anymore.
Correct.
Yeah, it made us very sad.
It did.
Yep, and then everybody denies it. That's the part that made me mad is that, well, it isn't our fault. Well, whose fault is it? We never saw this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And now we see elevated liver enzymes all the time. It's just like, well, do you have a dog? If you look at a veterinarian in the eye, we're going to this convention. Do you often see elevated liver enzymes? Well, of course I do. We see it all the time. Do you know what causes it? Nope. We just give them.
Everyone says to me it's very common. It's very common.
We give them Sammy and milk thistle and then check the ALT. And if it doesn't come down, then we give it longer and then we check it and it still doesn't come down. Then we keep giving it. And it's like, well, maybe
we should change that.
Maybe we should change our approach to that. If I had my way, there'd be a warning on the Sammy and milk thistle that you can give this for 30 days if it doesn't do anything. You need to look further, do a biopsy or change your food. I mean, listen, there's a lot of dogs. You just change the food, put them on a food with no copper sulfate in it.
Boom.
Yep.
Fixes.
Yep.
Immediately.
The copper comes out of the liver at such a rate. The copper drops to the amount of copper's in there. The body says, ooh, I'm a lot happier now they don't have that stuff.
Or maybe just don't feed a food with copper sulfate.
Sulfate in it. That's right.
But what do we say? Prevent the preventable and treat the treatable.
If we made a company that just sold copper sulfate in powder, and we said, well, this is great for children to put on their pizzas when you get, and it's really good on the delivered pizzas from whoever's delivering them. Yeah, you should put that on there for your kids. You think you could?
You want to know something funny?
You could get anybody from the dog food company to put copper sulfate on their kids' pizza? Hell no.
Do you want to know what's funny? I just had someone comment on one of our ads because we run meta ads on Facebook and Instagram, and somebody commented underneath. She Google searched, "Is chelated copper good for dogs?" And I guess the result came up as yes, chelated copper is very commonly found in dog food. Blah blah blah. It's perfectly healthy. And then I screenshotted my Google search back, which, should I eat copper sulfate? And it said, if you eat copper sulfate, you should call poison control immediately.
Yeah, no.
And I thought it was so funny because she was just trying to screenshot, look at this Google search.
AI, artificial ignorance.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I thought it was idiot.
Ignorance. Yeah.
Well, on that note, let's wrap it up so we can get to the airport.
Hey, thanks for all. You know what?
Yes.
I got to tell you, I love this part of doing this show. This is my favorite show to do when people have questions because I don't always think of those. I don't think of the things exactly the way you think of them. And since you think of them the way probably most of your crowd does, not me, it's much more
enjoyable.
It's much more beneficial for the listeners to hear what your concerns are. Probably I'll bet these 7 questions. I'll bet everybody thought, oh, I've thought about that myself.
Yes,
and I'm glad he answered that.
Yes.
I hope the answer was right.
Yes.
I hope the answer was right too.
Well, let's get some intro or outro music going. We sure appreciate you guys listening along with us today. We hope that we've been able to share some good information that will help you love your animals as much as they love you. Remember, always treat the treatable.
So you don't have to, you prevent the preventable, so you don't have to treat the treatable.
That's right. And we'll catch you guys.
Prevent the preventable.
On the next one.
Yep. See you.